Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimmirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurinmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guroh Shri Yutapadakammalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. I welcome all the assembled devotees for this last session on the glories and prayers of Bhishma Dev. I seek blessings from all the senior Vaishnavas present here, and I seek blessings of all the devotees who have assembled here to conclude this narration of the glories of Bhishma and especially the prayers of Bhishma Dev that we have been doing in the last 6 days, and today is the 7th day. We have been discussing several glories of Bhishma, his attitude, his mood, how he was flexible enough to participate in the Kurukshetra battle on the side of adharma. Although at heart he is always on the side of dharma. We discussed how difficult it is to act as an instrument in the hands of Krishna when you know that you will fail. Arjuna acted as an instrument in Krishna's hands, knowing that he will win the war. He will win the battle of Kurukshetra. Tasmatva muttishta yashola bhasva jitva shatrun bhungshva rajyam samurdham mayai vaite nihataha purvameva nimitta matram bhavasavya sachin. Krishna told Arjuna, my dear Arjuna, I have already killed all your opponents and your victory is ensured. I am personally sitting in front of you to drive your chariot and to drive your life to ensure victory for you. And I have kept my dear devotee, Hanumanji, sit on top of your flag, on top of your chariot on this Kapidhwaja. Hanumanji's blessing from top. Krishna is guiding from front. And our Arjuna is surrounded by so many other well-wishing warriors and is fighting on the side of Dharma. So, in such a circumstances, acting as an instrument in Krishna's will and fighting on behalf of Krishna is quite easy. But Bhishma's situation is more tricky, more difficult. Knowing very well that he is going to lose in this war, knowing that he will fall down on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, he fought. That requires more surrender, more dedication, more alignment to Krishna's will. Absolutely selfless. Bhishma was completely selfless. If somebody has even a slight tinge of selfish desire for personal honor, for public image, what will people think about me if I do this activity? For all time to come, I will be defamed. I will have bad reputation. People will misunderstand me. People will criticize me. Especially Kalika people are expert in criticism. They will make short reels, spreading criticism. Knowing all this, Bhishma said, if this is what Krishna wants me to do, I will do. So Bhishma is completely aligned with Krishna's will. Krishna wanted to prove to this world, however exalted you may be, if you take the side of adharma, you cannot win. You will have to be defeated. You will have to die, even in the hands of a younger warrior, less experienced warrior. So Bhishma is completely acting according to Krishna's will, while standing against Krishna. Just because a devotee is on the opposite side of Krishna, that does not mean he is not a devotee. At heart, he is always on the side of Krishna and devotees. So we have discussed several prayers where Bhishma started meditating on the Lord's form, especially the Lord's form as a chariot driver on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. One important and striking observation here. In all our lives, one devotee must have played a very crucial role. It could be our Diksha Gurus or Siksha Gurus or some other friend or companion who brought us to Krishna consciousness, or someone who has been regularly advising us and guiding us in our devotional service. So one devotee is very important. For some people it could be multiple devotees. But in the case of Bhishma, Arjuna's role is very important. Bhishma's darshan of Krishna is incomplete without Arjuna. Therefore, whenever Bhishma is addressing Krishna, he is addressing Krishna in relationship with Arjuna most of the times. Partha Saka, Vijaya Saka, Partha Sarathi. So Arjuna plays a crucial role in Bhishma's connection with the Lord, because Krishna manifested himself on the battlefield while driving the chariot of Arjuna, and Bhishma got to confront Krishna only in that scene. Therefore, Bhishma's meditation is primarily on Krishna as a chariot driver of Arjuna. Therefore, Arjuna has to be there in the frame of darshan. Right? Some devotees, their connection with Krishna is through one Acharya, Srila Prabhupada. Some devotees connect with the Lord through Ramanujacharya, through Madhvacharya. So without this Acharya, one's connection with Krishna is not possible only. Similarly, in the case of Bhishma Dev, his meditation on Krishna is incomplete without Arjuna there. So now in this mood, Bhishma is continuing to offer his prayers. Let's recite the 39th shloka of Bhishma Stuti. Vijaya Ratha Kutumba Attatotre Dhrutahaya Rashminita Chikershaniye Shriyakshani Bhagavati Ratirastu Me Mumurshor Yamiha nirikshahata gata swarupam Bhishma is continuing to meditate on the Parthasarathi form of Krishna. He says, Vijaya Ratha Kutumba Atta Totri. So Vijaya Ratha, Vijaya again refers to Arjuna. Arjuna has multiple names, Dhananjaya, Partha, Vijaya, Falguna. He has so many names. So Vijaya Ratha Kutumba means Krishna took the charge of protecting Arjuna's chariot. Therefore he is called Vijaya Ratha Kutumba. He is protecting Arjuna's chariot and Arjuna of course, right? So chariot driver also has a very key role to play in a war where the chariot driver is responsible to protect the warrior. Because he is so engrossed in war, the chariot driver has to take the chariot in right directions to facilitate his war, facilitate his fight. So Vijaya Ratha Kutumba Atta Totri. So while protecting the chariot of Arjuna, Vijaya, what is Krishna doing? With one hand, Krishna held the whip to drive the horses. You know, whip, there is one little stick with some like a rope kind of thing tied to the end of the whip, end of this stick or handle. So he just have to move the horses ahead. So he is holding that Atta Totre Dhrita Haya Rasmini. With one hand he is holding the whip, with the other hand he is holding the reins of the horses. Right? The horses are tied to ropes and Krishna is holding the ropes with his hand. So with his two hands are engaged. Krishna did not manifest a 400 form or 1000-handed form there. He manifested only two-handed form. Both hands are occupied in the service of our Arjuna. Arjuna is serving Krishna. By doing what? By participating in this war, by being violent, by killing the miscreants, and by assisting Krishna in establishing dharma. That's how Arjuna is serving Krishna while standing on the chariot. And because Arjuna is committed to serving Krishna to establish dharma, Krishna is committed to serving Arjuna. When you are ready to serve Krishna, Krishna is ready to serve you. When you are ready to assist Krishna in establishing dharma, Krishna is ready to assist you in your service to Krishna. We can't do any service without... Yes.
Hare Krishna. We have the same problem again. He gone? Why do they park the same place again and again?
Arjuna is serving Krishna and Krishna is serving Arjuna. So this is the mutual collaboration between the Lord and his devotee to establish dharma. Right? So Krishna is holding the whip in one hand and reins in another hand. He is driving the chariot. So Bhishma is meditating on that form. Dhritahaya rasminita shriye kshaniye ikshaniye. And this darshan of Krishna is so enchanting, so beautiful, so captivating to the heart of Bhishma. When Krishna holds flute in his two hands, that form is very attractive to the Gopis of Vrindavan. And when Krishna holds a parijata flower in his hand, that form is attractive to Satyabhama Devi. Right? When Krishna holds Sudarshan Chakra in his hands, that form is attractive to all the Devatas who are waiting for Krishna to release his Sudarshan Chakra. And that form of Krishna where he is holding this beautiful Sudarshan Chakra, that is very dear to Gajendra. Gajendra is offering prayer to the Lord. Samsarambhasi sambhrta bhramabhare gambhirata patraya grahena bhigrihita mugragatina kroshantamantarbhayat diptrinadya sudarshanena vibudha klantichhida karina chinta santati ruddha muddhara hare Machitadantishwaram. Samsarambhasi sambhrta bhramabhare. This samsara sagara is filled with so many brahmas, illusions and temptations and distractions and allurements. Gambhirata patraya. On top of it, the tapatrayas, the threefold material miseries are very grave, very fierce. You are already immersed in this material ocean. And the miseries are like the waves of the ocean. And on top of it, while you are sitting in the ocean or standing in the ocean, grahena bhigrihita mugragatina, a crocodile caught your leg. Akroshantam antarbhayat. You are doing akrosha. Akrosha means very piteous cry. You are terrorized so much, you are crying, you are piteously crying in pain. Akroshantam antarbhayat. You are very fearful, you are frightened. In such a situation, Gajendra requested the Lord to come and release his Sudarshan Chakra. Deeptrena adya sudarshanena vibudha klantichhida karina. Oh Lord, your Sudarshan Chakra has the track record of protecting even the great devatas from fierce demons. Now you please protect me with your Sudarshan Chakra. You please protect me from this graha, this crocodile. Chinta santati ruddha muddhara hare machitta dantishwaram. Chinta santati. My mind is totally caught up in so many chintas. In this world, chinta is always there. Chinta is anxiety. Anxiety creates a burning sensation. Right? As if we are being burnt by fire. Anxiety, chinta, creates a burning sensation. Chitta, you know chitta? Chitta means the funeral pyre at the last stages of life. Chitta creates burning sensation only once. Chitta burns our body only once. But chinta burns our mind throughout our life. To protect ourselves from this chitta and chinta, to protect ourselves from the burning sensation caused by chitta and chinta, you know what we should do? We should do chintan. Chintan is meditating on the Lord. Ananyas chintayanto mam ye janaha paryupasate tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham. So you should do chintan of Krishna. Constantly think about Krishna. Then you will be relieved. So here in this prayer, our mind is compared to Gajendra, and this, just as Gajendra is waiting for Sudarshana Chakra to come and release him from this crocodile, we should also wait for the Lord Sudarshana Chakra to release us from this material existence. That's our prayer. So anyways, the current context here is that some people are excited to see Sudarshan Chakra in Krishna's hands, some people are excited to see flute in Krishna's hands, some devotees are excited to see some butter in Krishna's hands, monkeys are excited to see butter in Krishna's hands. Gopas are excited to see butter and milk products in Krishna's hands. Madhumangal is excited to see laddu in Krishna's hands. Right? But Bhishma Dev is excited to see a whip and the reins of the horses in Krishna's hands. Bhakti is very personal. Bhakti is extremely personal. You can connect with Krishna in a specific form that you like. Yadyadhiyata urugaya vibhavayanti tattattva buhu pranayase sadanugrahaya. So whatever form you meditate upon, the Lord will reciprocate with you in that specific form only. So Bhishma is meditating on this form. So he is saying, Bhagavati ratirastume mumurshor. Let me have that rati, or attraction towards that Bhagavan who is holding the reins of Arjuna's chariot. Then Yamiha niriksha hatagataha swarupam. Very important point. As Krishna is just standing on the, sitting on the chariot of Arjuna, driving the chariot of Arjuna, something interesting happened. He started glancing on the warriors who are on the opposite side. Nirikshan means his glances, ikshana, fell on the warriors and the soldiers who are fighting against Arjuna. Then, what happened to them? Swarupam, all these people who died on the battlefield because of the arrows of Arjuna, while seeing Krishna, while being glanced upon by Krishna, attained the Swarupa in the spiritual world. They became residents of spiritual world. Who else can be more merciful? While orchestrating a great war that is meant to kill all these warriors, Krishna is orchestrating liberation for them. Let them be liberated. Let them go to spiritual world. So this is beautifully described by Uddhava also in the 3rd canto of Bhagavatam. He says, Parthastra-putam padamapurasya tathaiva chanye naraloka viraya ahave Krishna mukharavindam नेत्रैः पिबन्तो नयनाभिरामं पार्थास्त्रपूतः पदमापुरस्य तथैव चान्ये नरलोकवीरा. All the Naraloka Veeras, all the great heroes in this human world, they have assembled on this battlefield of Kurukshetra. Tathaiva chanye Naraloka Veera ya ahave Krishna Mukharavindam. While fighting in this battle of Kurukshetra, they are drinking the nectar of Krishna's beauty. Mukharavindam, Krishna's face is like Aravinda, a lotus. Mukharavindam. Netraih pibanto nayanabhiramam. Nayanabhirama means very enchanting to the eyes. Netraihi pibantu means they are drinking this beverage of Krishna's beauty with their eyes. Can you just imagine? Just like you drink a beverage in a bowl, right? You drink some soup or some other beverage in a bowl. All these soldiers in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, they made their eyes as bowls. And what is the beverage in the bowl? Krishna's beauty. And they are drinking that beauty. Netraih pibanto nayanabhiramam. While they are drinking the beauty of Krishna, while fighting, Parthastra putam padama purasya. Partha is raising astras. Putam, they are purified. By the astras, by the weapons of Arjuna, they are purified. Padama purasya, they attain the spiritual world. Right? Same thing Bhishma is also saying here. He is saying in the last line, Yamiha niriksha hata gataha swarupam. Hata, they are killed. And Gataha Swarupam, they attained the Swarupa, their own spiritual forms. Even when Krishna orchestrates a massive massacre, massive killing, organized killing on the battle in war, Krishna is not a violence seeker. Krishna is speaking peace, speaking about peace on the battlefield. Where did he speak about peace? The peace formula, what is that? Bhoktaram yajna tapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram suhridam sarvabhutanam gnatva shanti mrichati. He is a shanti lover, peace lover only. But sometimes violence is required to establish peace. Sometimes some kind of diplomacy is required to establish dharma. Therefore Krishna is orchestrating this war. Otherwise Krishna is happy playing his flute in Vrindavan and playing with the gopas and gopis and butterflies and peacocks and monkeys in Vrindavan. He doesn't need to come here. It's an austerity for Krishna to come here and orchestrate this battle. Right? But still he's doing it. For what? For our sake. To establish dharma. Sometimes to establish dharma you have to participate in war, you have to be violent, you have to use astras and shastras, you have to use diplomacy, you have to use politics. All these are required to establish dharma because people in this world are filled with corrupt minds. To handle that corruption, to deal with the corruption in the minds of common people, sometimes violence is required. Krishna is not a lover of violence, as some people may conceive of. So even through violence, he is giving liberation to people who are dying on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Parthastra putam padama purasya. Now Bhishma in so many shlokas, this is the one, Parthastra putam padama purasya. So in so many shlokas, Bhishma is glorifying Partha Sakha or Vijaya Sakha, Arjuna Sakha, Partha Sarathi, Vijaya Sarathi. Basically, Arjuna's name is referred to by Bhishma so many times. Does it mean that Arjuna is the most exalted devotee of all the devotees of Krishna? Is Arjuna the best of all devotees of Krishna? Bhishma says no. My connection with Krishna is in Virya Rasa. Therefore Arjuna played a role there. But the topmost devotees of Krishna are not the Pandavas. They are the Gopis of Vrindavan. And Bhishma is aware of it. Bhishma had the awareness that Gopis of Vrindavan are the most exalted, topmost devotees of Krishna. But Bhishma loves this Parthasarathi form, loves the Chaturbhuja form. He is in a Dasya mood with a specific flavor of Virya Rasa. That's why he is loving this form. So although according to hierarchy, one rasa is the topmost. Now we have 5 rasas, right? Shanta rasa, Dasya rasa, Sakhya rasa, Vatsalya rasa and Madhurya rasa. 5 rasas. So by doing an unbiased comparison between these 5 rasas, Madhurya rasa is the topmost. But someone who is serving Krishna and connecting with Krishna in Dasya rasa is happy in that rasa. The other day I was giving this example. There are 10 floors in that building, 10th floor is the topmost. But someone who is sitting in the 5th floor is happy. He is blissful in fifth floor. He is blissful in the second floor. Similarly, someone who is connecting with Krishna in Dasya Rasa or Sakhya Rasa, they are very happy. It's not that they are aspiring. All the Sakha Bhaktas, Gopas are aspiring. One day I'll become Gopi. Because Madhurya Rasa is the topmost. All of us should become Gopis one day. Gopas are not thinking to become Gopis one day. Right? Or they are not wanting to upgrade their Rasa to Vatsalya. Yashoda Mata is Yashoda Mata. Eternally she is Yashoda Mata. So some devotees love and serve Krishna eternally in that mood only. And that is the topmost for them. And that's how they can connect with Krishna. Therefore one should never have this artificial sense of superiority of one's own bhakti and demean other Vaishnavas. Krishna is happy, the devotee is happy. Oh, who are you in between? To say that, yeah, I am better, you are not better. So this, one should not, a devotee does not become proud. A devotee respects every devotee's individual connection with the Lord in a particular mood. So Bhishma has this understanding that, yes, I am referring to Arjuna so many times because that's the favorite form of Krishna as a Parthasarathi. Therefore I am referring to Arjuna so many times, but I understand that the gopis are the most exalted devotees, and is saying this in the next shloka. Let's see the next prayer where Bhishma glorifies the gopis of Vrindavan. Let's go to Vrindavan for a while. He says, Lalita Gati Vilasa Valguhasa Lalita Gati Vilasa Valguhasa Pranaya Nirikshana Kalpito Rumana Pranaya Nirikshana Kalpito Rumana Kritamano Krutavatya Unmadandha Prakriti Magan Kilayasya Gopavadhva Gopavadhva means Gopavadhus. Gopavadhva means plural. The Gopavadhus are the damsels of Vrindavan Dham, are the topmost devotees of Krishna. Of all the devotees of Krishna, who has the greatest love for Krishna? The gopis. And amongst all the gopis, who is the most exalted gopi? Srimati Radharani. That understanding many devotees have. Right? Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Aradhyo Bhagavan Vrajesha Tanayastadhama Vrindavanam Ramya Kachidupasana Vrajavadhu Vargenaya Kalpita Srimad Bhagavatam Pramana Bamalam Prema Pumartho Mahan Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhormatamidam Tatradharana Paraham Aradhyo Bhagavan Vrajesha Tanayah. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who introduced this Gaudiya Vaishnava line. So, he said that for Gaudiya Vaishnavas, 5 things are topmost. Number 1, Aradhyo Bhagavan, our supremely worshipable deity is Vrajesha Tanaya, means the son of the king of Vrindavan, that is Lord Sri Krishna, Gopal Krishna. Aradhyo Bhagavan Vrajesha Tanaya. Second, Tadhama Vrindavanam, our topmost spiritual abode is Vrindavan. Third, Ramya Kachidupasana Vrajavadhu Vargenaya Kalpita. And who are the topmost devotees of Krishna, who have done the topmost and the best worship of Krishna? Gopis of Vrindavan. Ramya Kachidupasana, the greatest upasana of Krishna is done by the gopis, Gopavadhus. Third, gopis. Fourth, what is the topmost evidence? The greatest praman for this? Srimad Bhagavatam Pramana Bamalam. The topmost evidence is Srimad Bhagavatam, the greatest Purana. Many Puranas are there. After compiling all these Puranas, Vyasadeva was not happy. He was not satisfied. Therefore, he compiled Srimad Bhagavata Purana. Then, Prema Pumartho Mahan. Fifth point is, the greatest goal of life, human life, is to love Krishna. Prema. So these 5 things Mahaprabhu established as the essence of our Siddhanta. You need to prioritize these 5 things. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhor matamidam tatradara na paraham. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu established that these 5 are the most important things. And interestingly, a description of all these 5 things about Vrindavan Krishna, about Vrindavan Dham, about Vraja Gopis, about Bhagavatam, and about Prema, Krishna Prema. All these 5 topics are very nicely, vividly described in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Yesterday after our session, one devotee came here and he started presenting the glories of Srimad Bhagavatam. You remember? Very beautiful. He was quoting some shlokas from Padma Puran. Padau yadiyau prathama dvitiyau. Now in these shlokas we understand how Srimad Bhagavatam is non-different from Krishna. When you are studying the Srimad Bhagavatam, you see 12 cantos of Bhagavatam are very nicely kept on this altar. When you are studying the Srimad Bhagavatam, you are actually taking darshan of Krishna's form. Padau yadiyau prathama dvitiyau tritiya turyau kathitau yadurum nabhistatha panchama eva shashto bhujantaram doryugalam tathanyau Kanthastu rajan navamo yadiyo mukharavindam dashamah prafullam ekadasho yasya lalata pattam shiropitu dvadasha eva bhati. Now, please remember this. Padau yadiyo prathama dvitiyo. Srimad Bhagavatam has 12 cantos. And the first 2 cantos represent Krishna's 2 lotus feet. Padau yadiyo prathama dvitiyo. The first and second cantos are Krishna's 2 divine lotus feet. Clear? Tritiya turyo kathitav yadiru. The third and fourth cantos are the urus, are the thighs of Krishna. Nabhistatha panchama eva. The 5th canto of Bhagavatam is the nabhi, the navel of Krishna. Then panchama eva shashto bhujantaram. Bhuja means arms. Bhujantar means that which is enclosed within these arms, that is the chest. The 6th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam is Krishna's chest. Then the next 2 cantos, 7th and 8th cantos are Krishna's arms. Kanthastu rajan navamo yadiyo. The 9th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam is the neck, is the throat of Krishna. Mukharavindam dashamah prafullam. The beautiful lotus-like face of Krishna is the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam that describes Krishna's pastimes. Ekadasho yasya lalata pattam. The 11th canto is compared to Krishna's forehead. Shiropitu dvadasha eva bhati. The 12th canto is the head of Krishna. In this way, when you are reading Srimad Bhagavatam from 1st canto to 12th canto, you are basically taking the darshan of Krishna from his lotus feet to his head. Right? How many of you have taken darshan of Krishna by studying Bhagavatam? Means how many of you have studied the 12 cantos of Srimad Bhagavatam? That's the question. You have done 12 cantos? Rishabdev? You have done first canto. Means you have taken darshan of the lotus feet of Krishna. 1 foot of Krishna. So, no problem. As you grow, you have seen partial darshan of 2nd canto. I mean 2nd lotus foot of Krishna. Very good. So, when we study Srimad Bhagavatam from the 1st canto to last canto, we are taking darshan of Krishna. Bhagavatam is non-different from Krishna. Bhajamahe Bhagavata Swarupam Tamadi Devam Karuna Nidhanam Tamala Varnam Suhitavataram Apara Samsara Samudra Setum Bhajamahe Bhagavata Swarupam. So, that Adideva, the Supreme Lord Krishna, has kindly manifested in the form of a book called Srimad Bhagavatam. Karunani Dhanam, he is an ocean of compassion, therefore he appeared in the form of a book. After going back to the spiritual world, he thought, no, I have to be there with these people, especially people of Kali Yuga. They need guidance. So let me appear in the form of a book. Granthavatar, Srimad Bhagavatam. The first day we discussed the glories of Srimad Bhagavatam slightly. Unlimited glories. Apara samsara samudra setum. The Srimad Bhagavatam is like a great bridge that helps us cross this material ocean. Compare this material world to an ocean. Can anyone make a bridge across an ocean? Very difficult. You can at the max make a small bridge in a small portion of ocean, okay, which may be like few kilometers, that's all. Can you make a big bridge across the ocean directly? Very difficult. But Srimad Bhagavatam is that bridge. That is a wonderful bridge that helps us cross the material ocean. This material world is like an ocean. So, Srimad Bhagavatam, especially when we study Srimad Bhagavatam with the purports of Srila Prabhupada. Yes, you see all these books are written by Vyasadeva and very nicely explained by Srila Prabhupada. So when we study Srimad Bhagavatam along with the Bhaktivedanta purports, then we'll get a better understanding of Srimad Bhagavatam. We'll go deeper into the nuances of the pastimes of Bhagavatam, the philosophy of Bhagavatam, and we'll get great perspectives and insights and multiple actionable, practical, relatable, digestible lessons from these pastimes, and we can put all this great philosophy into practice. Bhagavatam is not just to accumulate information of the universal history. Bhagavatam is meant for our transformation of our heart, right? And Prabhupada's purports facilitate that. Whatever I am discussing all these 7 days is primarily from the purports of Srila Prabhupada, as he has given purports to Srimad Bhagavatam. Time to time I am also taking from other scriptures like Chaitanya Charitamrita and Mukundamala Stotra and Brahma Samhita here and the Bhagavad Gita. But all of it is from Bhagavatam. So let's take shelter of Bhagavatam. So out of the 5 things that are emphasized by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Bhagavatam is one, but the context here is Gopis also. In this particular prayer, Bhishma is glorifying the Gopis of Vrindavan. So the Gopis of Vrindavan have done the topmost worship of Krishna. Let's see the meaning of this shloka. Lalita gati vilasa valguhasa. Lalita gati means his very charming movements. When Krishna is moving in Vrindavan, that movements are so charming. Krishna doesn't even wear footwear. Krishna doesn't wear even shoes in Vrindavan. He walks barefoot. The greatest wealth of Vrindavan is the footprints of Krishna. When Krishna walks on the surface of earth in Vrindavan, Krishna imprints his footprints on the surface of earth, and no gopa or gopi or a cow or a calf or a peacock or a monkey would disturb those footprints. To understand where Krishna is, you can easily follow his footprints and reach there. You don't need a Google Maps to reach where Krishna is. So Google Map is his footprints. Footprints are undisturbed. Cows are not stamping on them. We just follow them and then reach where Krishna is. So Vrindavanam Sakhi Bhuvo Vitanoti Kirtim Yaddevaki Sutapadam Bujalabdha Lakshmi. Vrindavanam Sakhi Bhuvo Vitanoti Kirtim. The land of Vrindavan is glorifying this entire earth planet. Is increasing the reputation of this planet Earth. Why? Yaddevaki Sutapadam Bujalabdha Lakshmi. Because Vrindavan land has attained the wealth of the divine footprints of Krishna. Right? So that is the greatness of Vrindavan Dham. So, in Vrindavan, Krishna's movements are Lalita. Very enchanting, very charming. Lalita gati vilasa valguhasa. We discussed only Lalita gati so far. Vilasa, Valgu. Krishna's pastimes in Vrindavan are so enchanting. Lalita gati vilasa valguhasa. Very important. Valguhasa means Krishna's conversations are so sweet. Hasa, Krishna's smile is so sweet. You want to understand the greatness of Krishna's smile? There's a beautiful shloka in the 3rd canto of Bhagavatam that describes the greatness of Krishna's smile. Not only sweetness, but the impact of Krishna's smile on our consciousness. Let's discuss this. Hasam hare ravanata khila lokativra shokashru sagara visoshana matyudaram sammohanaya rachitam nijamaya yasya bharumandalam munikrite makaradhvajasya. Hasam harer avanata akhila loka tivra shoka ashru sagara visoshanam ati udaram. Krishna's smile is so benevolent, so causelessly merciful that it can dry up an ocean of lamentation. The conditioned soul in this material world has been experiencing material miseries, and created an ocean of tears. He's crying and crying and crying, and he created a big ocean of miseries, ocean of tears. And if you look at Krishna's smile, reassuring smile, enchanting smile, that ocean of tears will be dried up like this. Ocean of tears will be dried up. Even though the ocean of tears is as big as Pacific Ocean, it can be dried up within a moment. That is the power of Krishna's smile. So, Valguhasa. Lalita gati vilasa Valguhasa Pranaya nirikshana kalpito rumana. After describing Krishna's movements in Vrindavan, pastimes in Vrindavan, and his smiles in Vrindavan, Bhishma is going to describe his glances in Vrindavan. His glances. Pranaya nirikshana. These are not normal nirikshana. Nirikshana means glance. Pranaya nirikshana means loving glance. Krishna in Vrindavan lovingly glances upon his devotees. Very sweet. Now, what is the power of Krishna's glance? This morning we were discussing in the Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya session. I think in Damodar Desh, today the devotees have completed one systematic reading of Srimad Bhagavatam, which they have been doing since 18 years. Today we discussed the last 3 shlokas of the last chapter of the last canto of Bhagavatam. So in that session, they requested me to give that session. I said, what is this double fortune? Already you are giving me so much association of 700, 800 devotees every day coming and hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. But they said, Prabhu, you speak the last 3 shlokas of Bhagavatam and conclude our Bhagavatam, Nityam Bhagavat Sevaya 1 round also. Sri Vallabh Prabhu is saying that today we have 3 Purnahutis, right? One is Nityam Bhagavat Sevaya Purnahuti, second is this Bhagavat Sapta Purnahuti. Anyways, in that session, this morning session, one devotee asked, what is the effect of darshan? When we take darshan of Krishna, what impact does that darshan have in our consciousness? So that's a question. Long question, but I shortened it. So I was sharing this from the 3rd canto of Bhagavatam and from the 10th canto of Bhagavatam. When you go to take darshan of Krishna in a temple, what is your experience? You are seeing a beautiful enchanting form of Krishna, very nicely decorated in very exquisite garlands and ornaments, nice turban or a nice mukut, peacock feather, flute, etc., etc. So many decorations. So you are seeing and you are getting some enlivening experience for your eyes and for your heart. But when you are seeing Krishna, something else is also happening, whether you noticed it or not. When you are seeing Krishna, more than you seeing Krishna, Krishna is seeing you. More than you glancing on Krishna, Krishna is showering his glances upon you. And what is the effect of Krishna's glances upon you? When Krishna is raining, showering his loving glances, pranaya nirikshana upon you, it has 3 effects. First effect, when Krishna glances on you, those glances will create spiritual desires in you. Second effect, Krishna's glances will maintain your spiritual desires. Third effect, Krishna's glances will fulfill your spiritual desires. 3 things. Many conditioned souls in this world, they have material desires. Mostly material desires only. And even if they go to temple, even if they have some spiritual inclinations and go to temple, in the temple also they ask for their material desires only. Right? Constantly asking for material desires, fulfillment of material desires. Yes, he is approving. But when you look at Krishna with devotion, Krishna's glances will create spiritual desires in us and will destroy material desires in us. So if you want to, how many of you want to create spiritual desires? How many of you want to get rid of material desires? Right? So if you really want that, then you should take darshan of Krishna with devotion. Many times people may have spiritual desires, but they are not maintaining the spiritual desires. Today, on a festival day, when you are hearing Bhagavat Katha or when you are studying some purport of Bhagavatam, then today you may just develop some kind of nice spiritual desire, but by tomorrow you will forget it. You are not so serious about that spiritual desire. Therefore, when you regularly take darshan of Krishna's deities, Radha Krishna, when you regularly take their darshan, their glances will not only create spiritual desires, they will maintain your spiritual desires also. Okay, somebody is having spiritual desires, and they are also maintaining the spiritual desires nicely, but they are unable to fulfill. How many of you had some nice spiritual desire, say for example visiting Vrindavan or visiting Mayapur during Kartik time, but you could not fulfill it for a long time. So many years passed. Oh, this year I could not go to Vrindavan. Last year I could not go to Vrindavan. 10 years I am planning, I could not fulfill this desire. You may think like that. But by regularly taking darshan of Krishna with sincere devotion, you will fulfill your spiritual desires also, sooner or later. So what is the effect of taking Krishna's darshan? 3 things. Tell me. Creation of spiritual desires, maintenance of spiritual desires, fulfillment of spiritual desires. Right? That is the glory of pranaya nirikshana. So I am going word by word. I don't know when will I complete this shloka. So let's go fast. Lalita gati vilasa valguhasa pranaya nirikshana kalpito rumana kritamanu kritavatya unmadandha prakriti magan kilayasya gopavadva. Now these gopavadhus have this great fortune of seeing Krishna's enchanting moments, witnessing Krishna's pastimes, and seeing Krishna's smiles, and also showering themselves with Krishna's loving glances. They have profuse access to all these attributes of Krishna. And unmadandhaha, these gopis become completely maddened by ecstasy. By seeing Krishna, by coming in contact with Krishna, they will be maddened by ecstasy. They are the topmost devotees of Krishna. Who can taste sugar? One who has real relish or taste for sugar only will be able to relish sweets. Some people are there, even if you give them sweets, we are not excited. Mirchi legao. Right? And some people you bring them mirchi, by seeing them they'll just run away. Many times when I touch mirchi, my hands will burn. I'm literally saying this. My hands burned so many times because of touching mirchi. What to speak of eating mirchi. When I eat mirchi, then nayanam galadhashru dharaya, vadanam gadgadardhaya gira. When I touch mirchi also, my hands will burn. But there are some people, unless they keep 4 or 5 mirchis in their plate, the meal morsel will not go into their mouth only. They can't handle sweets, right? But who can handle sweets? One who has good digestive power. One who actually have a taste for sweets. You can handle sweets, you are brahmanas. Therefore you are able to handle sweets. So anyways, the gopis of Vrindavan are very pure in their consciousness. Therefore they have taste for Krishna's darshan, Krishna's pastimes. When Bhagavata Katha is going on, when nice narration of Krishna's Nama, Rupa, Guna, Lila is going on, who can actually taste it? Who can relish it? One who has a soft heart. What is that softening of heart? Love for Krishna. One who really have love for Krishna can relish Krishna's Nama, Rupa, Guna, Lila nicely. Right? Otherwise, ordinary people may not be able to relish. They may relish materialistic topics, mundane topics. They may like gossip. They may like some mundane, materialistic, sense gratificatory and very, very soul-degrading topics. They may like that. They have taste for it. But devotees who have spiritual inclinations can actually relish Krishna's Nama, Rupa, Guna, Lila. And amongst all the devotees, the topmost devotees of Krishna, they are never satiated by seeing Krishna or hearing about Krishna or witnessing Krishna's pastimes or showering themselves by Krishna's glances. So, even to digest sweet, you need to have good digestive power. Similarly, even to relish Krishna's darshan, you should have prema for Krishna. And gopis are the topmost lovers of Krishna. Therefore, they can relish Krishna's pastimes. And Bhishma is saying these gopis are the topmost devotees. Even the greatest devotees like Uddhava, they aspire to take the dust from the lotus feet of the gopis. Gopis are not ordinary devotees. How Krishna conscious they are. Yado hane vahane mathano palepa प्रेङ्काङ्खनार्भरुदितो क्षणमार्जनादौ गायन्ति चैनमनुरक्तधियो श्रुकण्ठ्यो धन्याव्रजस्त्रिय उरुक्रमचित्तयानः या दोहने when the gopis are milking their cows, vahanane when they are cleaning their grains, rice, mathana when they are churning milk and extracting butter, upalepa when they are smearing their walls and floors with cow dung, prenkankhana when they are swinging on swings. Like in Vrindavan, you don't have this football and cricket. You don't have these video games and other things. In Vrindavan, their games are very, very simple and natural. They just take a rope and put it on a tree, and that's how make a swing, and they jump on the swing and then start swinging. Right? They're swinging on the swing, on the rope. That's how they enjoy. Jhulan. This is Jhulan Yatra. So when they are swinging on swings, they are very nicely describing Krishna's pastimes. Prenkankhanar bharudito ksanamarjanado. Yes, one more.
Hare Krishna.
Vahan.
Why you change, Baba? E56515, this Porsche. Whose car is this, Baba? Please, why you trouble us every day? Who is this? You. Please, can you remove this car? You can't be parking in no parking, blocking somebody else's house.
Hare Krishna. So the gopis of Vrindavan are constantly Krishna conscious. Ya dohane, when they are milking cows, vahanane, when they are cleaning their grains, mathana, when they are churning buttermilk, upalepa, means when they are smearing cow dung on their floors and walls, prenkankana, when they are swinging on their swings, arbharudita, when they are taking care of their crying babies, ukshana means they mix cow dung in water and they start sprinkling that in front of their courtyards. Have you done it any time? No. Water mixed with cow dung sprinkled on your courtyard, and they put rangoli on top of it also. I think this boy must be trained in doing that. He's making all faces. Gopis are doing. Prenkankanarbharuditokshana marjanado. When they are cleaning their courtyards, they are singing Krishna, singing Krishna's glories. Gayanti chaina banurakta dhiyo shrukantyo. Gayanti. They are singing the glories of Krishna. Anurakta dhiya. Their minds are completely immersed in love for Krishna. Ashrukantyo, they are having tears in their eyes when they are having faltering voice when they are glorifying Krishna. Dhanyavrajastriya urukramachittayanaha. So these gopis are so dhanya. Urukramachittayanaha, their mind, their chitta consciousness is constantly hovering about the thoughts of Lord Urukrama. That's the glory of the gopis. And Bhishma is acknowledging the glories of the gopis of Vrindavan. Brahma glorified the gopis, Uddhava glorified the gopis, Krishna glorified the gopis. That's the position of the gopis of Vrindavan. Bhishma is saying no. He was about to die. Now, 2 more shlokas, Bhishma is in the spiritual world. Right? How much time do you require to recite a shloka? We are taking some 15-20 seconds to recite a shloka. We have 2 more shlokas in Bhishma Suti pending. So 40 seconds are required for Bhishma to recite the remaining shlokas. Just think like that. 40 seconds before he departed from this material world, he is glorifying the gopis of Vrindavan. Can you just imagine? It's not only Bhishma, Uddhava glorified. You know what he said? Asamaho charana renu jushamaham syam vrindavane kimapi gulmalataushadhinam yadustyajam swajanamarya patham chahitva bhejur mukunda padavim sutibhir vimrugyam. Uddhava once took a love letter. Who wrote that love letter? Krishna wrote the love letter and gave it to Uddhava. Uddhava, you are my postman. You are my messenger. Take this and read in front of the gopis. So Uddhava went and started reading this love letter. But one gopi, Srimati Radharani, saw a bumblebee and imagined that bee to be Krishna and imagined that bee to be a messenger of Krishna also and started scolding that bee, left, right, center. As Uddhava is reading the letter. And in the madness of ecstasy, all these gopis are singing the glories of the Lord, chanting the names of the Lord. When Krishna was departing from Vrindavan, they were chanting Govinda, Damodara, Madhava. Govinda, Damodara, Madhaveti. Govinda, Damodara, Madhaveti. Govinda, Damodara, Madhaveti. Govinda Damodara Madhaveti, Govinda Damodara Madhaveti. In this way, the gopis are chanting Govinda, Damodara, Madhava, and then crying profuse tears when Krishna was leaving Vrindavan. And after a few months, Krishna did not come to Vrindavan, but he had sent a messenger, Uddhava, to Vrindavan. And in front of Uddhava also the gopis are crying. Profusely they were crying. And after hearing this letter, the gopis turned towards the side where Mathura city is located, and they extended their hands and they were piteously praying to Krishna, Krishna, when will you come and give your darshan? Seeing this unique and most exalted display of pure Krishna prema, pure Krishna consciousness, Uddhava became completely humbled. And he said, Asama hocharana reana jushama hamsyam. My desire is to get the dust from the lotus feet of all these gopis of Vrindavan. But if a prince, a regal, royal prince of Vrindavan, of Mathura city, comes and asks the simple village girls, gopis, oh gopis, can you please give me dust from your feet? They will not give. Hey, you are a prince, we are simple village girls. They'll feel shy. They'll feel very embarrassed and awkward to offer their dust to the exalted prince Uddhava. Therefore Uddhava had a plan. What was that plan? Vrindavane kimapi gulmalataushadhinam. Let me become a gulmalata. Let me become a humble, simple creeper. Or a blade of grass in Vrindavan. So that when these gopis walk on the surface of land of Vrindavan, automatically their dust will fall on me. If I become a blade of grass, if I become a creeper in Vrindavan, their dust will fall on me. How many of you want to become a blade of grass in Vrindavan? Please tell me. Not many. Few, but not so many. Because it's not that easy. It's easy to recite Tranadapi Sunichena Tarorapi Sahishnuna every day. It's easy to memorize. But do you really want to become a trina, a blade of grass? Not that easy. And Prabhupada says, not just blade of grass, become a straw on the street. At least blade of grass is green. It is still connected to the ground. It's grounded. Right? It has life. Even if somebody stamps on it, it has a possibility to grow again. But straw on the street is totally neglected, not grounded, no, lifeless. Become humbler than a straw on the street. That's the position of a devotee. And here is Uddhava. He's saying, let me become a blade of grass in Vrindavan so that I can get the dust from the lotus feet of the gopis on my head. Let me be bathed. Mahiya sampada rajobhishekam. Let me be bathed with the dust from the gopis' lotus feet. Not even Krishna's lotus feet, gopis' lotus feet. That's the position of the gopis. Gopis are not ordinary devotees. And amongst all the gopis, Srimati Radharani is the topmost. He says, Vrindavane kimapi gulmalataushadhinam yadustyajam swajanamarya patham chahitva bhejur mukunda padavim srutibhir vimrugyam yadustyajam. Although it is very, very difficult to give up their civilized life and very difficult to give up their family ties and social customs and this Varna Dharma, Ashrama Dharma, Sri Dharma, this and that, and cross all these boundaries and reach Krishna and completely dedicate themselves to Krishna. Not that easy. But the gopis have done it effortlessly, voluntarily. I don't have so much love for Krishna as much as the gopis love Krishna. Therefore, I want their dust. So Uddhava is praying to the gopis. Bhishma is glorifying the gopis. Many other exalted devotees are glorifying the gopis, and Krishna is glorifying the gopis. And Krishna said, my dear gopis, although I have confidently declared, Ye yathamam prapadyante tamstathaiva bhajamyaham, the way people approach me, the way people worship me, in a similar way, I will reciprocate with them. I have confidently said it. but I miserably failed in your case to fulfill this promise. Gopis' love for Krishna is so much that Krishna feels so bankrupt, so incapable, so helpless in sufficiently reciprocating with their love and affection. So to that degree, their love for Krishna, their service to Krishna humbled even Krishna. Krishna said, I have no ability to reciprocate. That's the love of the Gopis. And Bhishma is glorifying those Gopis now. There is no end to glorifying the Gopis. Vande Nandavrajastrīṇāṃ pādarēణuva bhīkṣnasaha yāsāṃ harikathodgītam punāti bhuvanattrayam. So Vande Nandavrajastrīṇāṃ, let me offer obeisances to that exalted ladies of Nanda Maharaja's village Vrindavan. Vande Nandavrajastrīṇāṃ yāsāṃ harikathodgītam punāti bhuvanattrayam. When they glorify Lord Hari, all the three worlds are completely purified. Punati bhavanattrayam. That's the glory of Gopis. So after glorifying the Gopis like this, Bhishma felt very humbled. I don't have the capacity, or I don't have the ability or eligibility to glorify Bhishma, to glorify the Gopis. Yes. Water break.
Hare Krishna. Jaguar P9540. Can you 9450? Sorry. Can someone please remove this ASAP?
So Bhishma, after glorifying the Gopis, he said, I think it's a very exalted subject matter for me to speak about Gopis. Let me again come back to my mood of seeing Krishna as a prince. So now we are coming back from Vrindavan to Hastinapur, Indraprastha, Kurukshetra. So let's see the last two prayers quickly and complete our Katha. So last but one prayer, 41st prayer. Munigana Nrupavarya Sankulenta Sadasi Yudhishthira Rajasuya Esha Arhanamupapeda Ikshaniyo Mama Drishi Gochara Esha Aviratma Munigana Nrupavarya Sankulenta Sadasi Yudhishthira Rajasuya Esha Arhanamupapeda Ikshaniyo Mama Drishi Gochara Esha Aviratma He's saying Muni Gana Nrupavarya Sankulentaha. In the Rajasuya sacrifice organized by Yudhishthira Maharaj at Indraprastha, so many munis have assembled. Munigana. Nrupavarya means the best of all kings also have assembled. Even devatas came there. Right? Munigana Nrupavarya Sankulentaha Sadasi Yudhishthira Rajasuya Esham. Sadasi, in that assembly of Rajasuya sacrifice conducted by Yudhishthira Maharaj, so many exalted personalities have assembled. Then he says, Arhanam Upapeda Ikshaniyo. Who is the most eligible personality to receive the first worship in this auspicious occasion of this Rajasuya sacrifice? Everybody unanimously agreed. Yes, Krishna is the most eligible personality to receive this Agra Puja, first worship. Everybody agreed. Except Shishupala, everybody agreed. So at that time, Mama Drishi Gochara Esha Raviratma, Bhishma became ecstatic. Mama Drishi Gochara, Bhishma's loving glances fell on Krishna. Bhishma saw Krishna. Wow. Krishna is going to be worshipped in this great assembly where there are so many rishis and munis and brahmanas and devatas and kings and soldiers and ministers from all over the globe. From the celestial world also many devatas descended to attend this Rajasuya sacrifice, and Krishna is being honored. Bhishma is ecstatic. When Krishna is nicely worshipped, devotees genuinely become happy. So devotee is a person who genuinely takes pleasure seeing Krishna being worshipped. But ordinary materialistic people, they want worship for themselves. Oh, Krishna worship me first. So they are so self-centric, but devotees are Krishna-centric. They like to see Krishna being worshipped. So this is the Rajasuya sacrifice where Bhishma is relishing Krishna's Agra Puja. But Shishupal could not relish that Agra Puja, and Krishna released the Sudarshan Chakra. Shishupal started chastising Krishna, criticizing Krishna in various ways. He was saying that, oh, Krishna just subdued a water snake and you are just calling him, he did Kaliya Daman Lila, you are clapping. Krishna lifted a little mound of earth and you are saying Krishna is Govardhan Giridhari. You are unnecessarily attributing godhood or so much greatness to an insignificant cowhead boy who did very, very normal activities, human activities, not knowing the divinity of Krishna. Shishupal is criticizing Krishna like that. Kamsa is criticizing Krishna like this. But Krishna teaches them a lesson. And he kills them. Not out of grudge. By killing these demoniac people, Krishna is liberating them. It's liberation. Krishna's killing means liberation. And liberation is a great privilege. These ordinary demoniac people, when will they even get a chance to get liberated? Will they ever get liberated by their efforts? Are they doing anything to get liberated? But Krishna, out of his kindness, is liberating them. That we need to notice. Even Krishna's killing, Krishna's punishment is also mercy. Right? Now let's discuss the last prayer of Bhishma, Bhishma Stuti. What's the time now? 8:05. Very good. We are well in time. So we'll discuss the last prayer of Bhishma Stuti before we conclude. Yes. Tamimamaham sharira bhajam hृदि धीष्ठितमात्मा कल्पितानाम् प्रतिदृश्यामिह नैकधर्कमेकम् समधिगतोऽस्मि विधूतभेदमोहा तमिमम् aham ajam sharira bhajam. Now Bhishma is concluding with a very generic statement that also describes Krishna's unparalleled mercy in being accessible to everyone, available for everyone. Sharira bhajam means one who has a sharira, one who has a body, an embodied living being. Right? So Hridi, Krishna is there in the hearts of every single embodied living being. Not only embodied living being. Even if there is no life in a material object, Krishna is present in it. Water. Is there soul in water? It's a material element, but there is super soul in water. Sugar particle. Is there soul in sugar particle? But there is super soul in sugar particle. Right? Krishna is the taste of water. Krishna is the sweetness of sugar particle. Krishna is the saltiness of salt particle. So Krishna is there in every single atom. Whether a living entity soul is there or not, super soul is definitely there. But let's talk about souls now. Let's talk about living beings. He says, Hridi Hridi Darshitam Atma Kalpitanam. In the form of Paramatma, as super soul, Krishna stays within the hearts of every single living being. And in the heart of a devotee, Krishna acts more than Paramatma. What does Paramatma do in the hearts of all living beings? Mattaha smritirgnanam apohanam cha vedaischa sarvair ahameva vedyo vedanta kridveda videva chaham. Mattaha smritirgnanam apohanam cha. Krishna gives us forgetfulness, knowledge and remembrance by sitting in our hearts. That we know. And Krishna is a neutral observer, unattached pure witness, asakta vivikta sakshine. Krishna is just witnessing our activities and reminding us of forgotten desires and giving us knowledge and forgetfulness according to our desires. But in the case of a devotee, Krishna acts more than a Paramatma. He is not neutral witness to our activities. Krishna directs us to take his shelter. What is the proof? Go to the 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. In the 10th chapter, Krishna said, Tesham aham, not Samudharta, Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam pritipurvakam, dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayanti te, dadami buddhi yogam tam. So he is going to give that buddhi, necessary intelligence by which we reach him. Right? He will give us that buddhi to reach him, to take his shelter. So Krishna directs a devotee to his eternal shelter and ultimately takes him to the spiritual world. Aham ajnanajam tamaha nashayami atma bhavastu jnanadipena bhasvata. Krishna will lit the lamp of knowledge in our hearts and destroys our ignorance so that we take shelter of Krishna. He does it for everyone, but some people don't desire it. So Krishna doesn't act against their desire. Krishna doesn't interfere with their minute independence. So here Bhishma is saying, oh Lord, you are there in everybody's heart. And he says, Samadhigatosmi vidhuta bheda moha. Now after glorifying you in 100 different ways, after glorifying your love and affection towards all living entities, in manifesting in their hearts as Paramatma, let me withdraw my mind from everything else and completely absorb myself in you. Samadhigato, let me enter into this samadhi of complete Krishna consciousness. See, he's in samadhi now. He's entering samadhi. Bheda moha. Last word he spoke is bheda moha. Bheda means to cut. Moha means illusion. All my illusions are completely cut and completely destroyed. Now samadhi. I am just entering into deep trance of Krishna consciousness. And let me just go to the spiritual world. Bhishma has Ichha Mrityu. Before even Krishna concluded his pastimes, Bhishma concluded his own personal life and went to the spiritual world. And during this, after these prayers, like Bhishma offered these prayers, but in this context only, as Bhishma is also giving so many dharmas, teachings of so many dharmas to Yudhishthira Maharaj, Bhishma also said one more thing, very beautiful thing. That is Vishnu Sahasranam. In Vishnu Sahasranam, Bhishma Dev also predicted the glory of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Bhishma Dev glorified the Gopis of Vrindavan. Bhishma Dev also predicted the appearance of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He said, Suvarna Varno Hemango Varangas Chandanangadim Sanyasa Kritsha Mahashanto Nishtha Shanti Parayanaha. Bhishmadev said that Suvarna Varno Hemango, the Lord appears in this bluish complexion that we know as Rama, as Krishna and many other places. He has multiple complexions, bodily complexions, but the Lord also appears in a golden complexion in Kali Yuga. Suvarna Varna. Hemango, all his bodily limbs are golden. Suvarna Varno Hemango Varangas Chandanangadi, and his beautiful limbs are nicely anointed with sandalwood pulp. Sannyasa Kritsha Mahashanto, he takes sannyas. In no other incarnation Krishna takes sannyas. But when Krishna appears as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Lord Gauranga Mahaprabhu, he takes sannyas. Sannyasakrit shamaha shanto nishtha shantihi parayanaha. So he gives shelter to all those people who are aspiring for Krishna Prema. He inaugurates Harinam Sankirtan. So in this way, Bhishma also predicted the appearance of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is very loving towards many of his devotees. But let's recollect one devotee whose departure is as glorious as Bhishma Dev's departure. Can anyone discuss? Can anyone say? Haridas Thakur. Haridas Thakur is an incarnation of Lord Brahma. So this Haridas Thakur is accustomed to chanting the holy names of Krishna 192 rounds in a day. 3 lakh names of the Lord he would chant every day. Did anyone chant 192 rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra any day? Some of our devotees in Govardhanika village, on Haridas Thakur's appearance day, they chant. They get up at 11:30 in the night. By 12 o'clock, 12 midnight, they start chanting till the next day 12 midnight. So just taking little breaks to take prasad and all. So not everyone can do that. There are some exalted souls who do that. So Haridas Thakur would chant 192 rounds every day, and he's chanting the holy names of the Lord, and he's also called Namacharya. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu descended on the planet to, one more vehicle, no? Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu descended on the planet to establish the Yuga Dharma of Harinam Sankirtan. He wanted to spread the process of chanting the holy names of the Lord, and he made Haridas Thakur as Namacharya. So Haridas Thakur, Namacharya Haridas Thakur came and settled in Jagannath Puri. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu arranged a special residence for him. Somehow, because of the social customs in those days, he was not allowed to enter Jagannath Puri temple, and he respected the social customs. He did not disturb that, and he nicely sat there and chanted the holy names of Krishna. He became very old. One day, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to Haridas Thakur and asked him, Haridas Thakur, what happened? You look very weak. You look very sick also. Is there any problem? Then Haridas Thakur said, my dear Lord, I have absolutely no problem with my body. My body is alright. But problem is there with my mind. What's the problem? I am unable to complete my 192 rounds of chanting. Then Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, you are so old now. You are very exalted. You don't have to chant 192 rounds every day now. You can reduce the number of rounds. But Haridas Thakur said, no, I cannot reduce the number of rounds. I have to chant. Then, after a while, Lord Chaitanya asked again, so what's the update? How are you feeling now? Then, Haridas Thakur said, my dear Lord, whatever mercy that you want to show me. I came to know that very soon you are going to conclude your earthly pastimes. You are going to wind up your earthly pastimes and you are going to the spiritual world. I am aware of it. But I don't have the ability to see you conclude your earthly pastimes. I can't witness your disappearance, Leela. My dear Lord, I have one request for you. Can you please allow me to leave this body before you leave this world? Then Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, if you are not there, how will I survive? How can I live? How can I continue the practice of bhakti? Then Haridas Thakur said, my dear Lord, don't keep me in illusion. If an insignificant insect or an ant dies, does it make any difference to this universe? I am like that insignificant ant or an insect. He is so humble. He considered himself an ant or insect, although he is chanting 192 rounds. And sometimes a struggling sadhaka becomes so proud that I am chanting 16 rounds every day. Right? That is Haridas Thakur's humility. So Haridas Thakur said, my dear Lord, I can't see your disappearance, Leela. Please allow me to die before you conclude your pastimes. Then Lord Chaitanya said, okay, fine. I will do it. I will give you that permission. What is your desire? Tell me. He said, My dear Lord, I want you to come at the time of my disappearance, and I request you to place your divine lotus feet on my chest, on my heart, and allow me to look at your beautiful face and say Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, and give up this body. So the next day, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came there. He saw Haridas Thakur in his final moments. So Lord Chaitanya wanted to fulfill his desire. He kept his lotus feet on his heart. And Haridas Thakur looked at Lord Chaitanya and said, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, and departed from this world. The way Haridas Thakur departed from this world and the way Bhishma Dev departed from this world, both are similar. Prabhupada writes in Chaitanya Charitamrita purports, there are a lot of similarities. Just as Haridas Thakur, although he is not respected in the society for whatever in his social position, he was not respected, but still Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu honored him. He was not even allowed to enter Jagannath Puri temple, but Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu honored him as Namacharya, and personally he was present at the time of his departure. Similarly, Bhishma Dev also was misunderstood by so many people for whatever he has done. He fought on the side of Adharma, but Krishna honored him. Although Bhishma was misunderstood by people in this world, the Supreme Lord glorified him and revealed his devotion, revealed his wisdom, revealed his intelligence to the whole world, and he made all the universal celebrities assemble there to hear the teachings of Bhishma Dev and prayers of Bhishma Dev. He knows the Vedanta, he had deep bhakti, Vedanta. He is well versed with both. And Krishna demonstrated how glorious Bhishma is in front of all the universal celebrities. Right? So, when we discuss the glories of such great souls like Haridas Thakur, Bhishma Dev, or any other Mahajan, the purpose of our discussion is not just pass our time in while discussing some stories, but to actually seek inspiration from their wonderful example. They are our role models. In this world, many people see many celebrities as their role models. That's fine. To pursue their material goals, they need to have some ideal, some role model. But our spiritual role models are Mahajans. Mahajano yena gatasya pantha. Bhakti means to follow in the footsteps of great Mahajans, great souls, and perform devotional service of Krishna, following in their footsteps. And Bhishma is one of that Mahajans. His life is complete, selfless dedication to Krishna's service, to act as a humble, menial tool or instrument in Krishna's hands. That is the life of Bhishma Dev, life of Haridas Thakur, life of Prahalad Maharaj and many other Mahajans. Right? So let us pray to Bhishma Dev to give us that strength to dedicate our lives to Krishna and empower us to imbibe a drop of their devotion and their commitment to Krishna's service and make our lives perfect. Even if we imbibe a drop of dedication and service attitude of Bhishma Dev in our own personal lives, our life will become successful. So we need blessings and blessings of such great souls. We need to pray. And time to time, if we remember the great examples of these great devotees, then we'll become like them. The more we discuss the qualities of Bhishma, the more we discuss the qualities of Prahalad Maharaj, the more we discuss the stories of Parikshit Maharaj, Ambarish Maharaj, Prithu Maharaj, Dhruva Maharaj, and many other exalted devotees like Gopis of Vrindavan, the more we become like them, the more we imbibe their mood, the more we imbibe their emotions, the more we become like them, the more we think like them, the more we speak like them. So to develop all these devotional qualities, regularly discussing about the qualities and pastimes of these devotees is very important for us. And we are very, very grateful to His Grace Mahesh Gaur Govind Prabhu for opening the doors of his home to invite hundreds of devotees. Today I see more, hundreds of devotees into his home and hosting the 7 days of Bhagavata Katha so selflessly. And even in our personal interactions also, Mahesh Prabhu is very exemplary. He has great Vaishnava etiquette. He has respect for devotees. He has deep taste for Shravanam and Kirtanam. I asked him, what do you like the most in Bhakti? He says, hearing Harikatha is my favorite and I chant in the morning. So we have such exemplary devotees even in front of our eyes. There are many exemplary devotees in the scriptures. There are many exemplary devotees in front of our eyes also. They are wonderfully setting an example of selfless service to the Vaishnavas, service to the Lord. And I thank Mahesh Prabhu for organizing this 7-day Katha, inviting hundreds of devotees into his home and hosting them. And I also heartily thank the leader of this community, Sri Vallabh Prabhu and Vrajalila Nath Prabhu and many other devotees. They are coordinating, they have planned it several months back, and I'm very grateful to them for giving me this opportunity to have the association of hundreds of devotees and glorify the Lord for a few days in front of you. And I thank all of you for being so eager and enthusiastic, whether it is weekday or weekend day. You are coming every day, sitting for 1.5, 2 hours or 3 hours, or some of you are coming much early. And these little kids are doing kirtan and chanting Bhishma Stuti, playing mridanga, kartal and harmonium. And the participation here is like this ambience. In the last 7 days, this courtyard of Prabhu's home is surcharged with so many spiritual vibrations, with the enthusiastic devotion of so many hundreds of devotees. And we need to have this kind of forums everywhere in the world where devotees come together and do some Machitta, Madgata Parana, Bodhayantah Parasparam, Parasparano Kathanam Pavanam Bhagavadyashaha, Guhyamakhyati Prichati. So this is very much required. And I thank Sri Vallabh Prabhu, Mahesh Prabhu, Sri Vallabh Prabhu, we are missing him today, Mahesh Prabhu and Vrajalila Nath Prabhu. And I must specially thank His Grace Jagajiv Jagannath Prabhu and Mataji, who have been hosting me there in their loving home, treating me like their own son, like my parents. So, such exemplary devotion they have in their hearts, and their simplicity, their humility, their loving demeanor, respectful demeanor, and their personal devotion inspired my heart in the last 1 week. And I'm going from Damodar Desh in a couple of days, carrying so many sweet memories of spending time with so many wonderful devotees here. It's not an ordinary experience for me in the last 7 days. And I must also thank Tulsi Govind Prabhu, Jai Govind Prabhu, many other devotees who are organizing this event, who are leading this community and doing exemplary devotional service. My last statement would be, I sincerely beg at the lotus feet of all the devotees assembled here to offer your sincere prayers and blessings for me so that I continue on the path of bhakti without any distraction or deviation or pride or arrogance, and continue to utilize the rest of my life or life after life in the service of Guru, Krishna and Vaishnavas. With this prayer I'll conclude. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
His Grace Gauranga Darshan Prabhu ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. Hare Krishna. So what a wonderful nectarian class. And so thank you very much, Prabhu, for taking us in the nectar of ocean. So now I would request everybody will have a Sankirtan like the last shloka of Bhagavatam, so then which Gauranga Darshan Prabhu took in the morning. We'll have a Kirtan, Sankirtan, because that is the Yagya for the Kali Yuga, so everybody should stay. First we'll have the thank-giving ceremony for all the people that who contributed for this nice 7 days Bhagavatam. So please stay here, please do not go away. And then Kirtan, around 9 o'clock we'll finish, so then don't worry, so then we'll not delay you. So, so first of all, like with utmost humility and devotion, we bow down at the lotus feet of Bhagavan Shri Krishna, Srila Vyasadeva, Shukdev Goswami, Srila Prabhupada, and all the
That's okay, let him speak.
Srila Vyasadeva, Shukdev Goswami, Srila Prabhupada and all the great acharyas who have bestowed upon us the divine nectar of Srimad Bhagavatam. By their boundless grace, we have successfully completed this Bhagavatam Saptah Yagya, a sacred journey through the transcendental glories of the Supreme Lord. Srimad Bhagavatam, this divine scripture, the very essence of the divine scripture, the very essence of all Vedic knowledge has been revealed to us as the ultimate means for spiritual upliftment, liberation and eternal bliss. By hearing, reciting and meditating upon Srimad Bhagavatam, we are bathed in the purifying stream of Krishna Katha, washing away the impurities of material existence. So we express our heartful gratitude to Bhagavan Shri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the heart and soul of this sacred text, Maharishi Vedvyas, the compiler of this divine Purana, whose compassion gifted humanity the path to eternal salvation. Shri Sukdev Goswami, whose divine narration bestowed liberation even upon King Parikshit and continues to sanctify the hearts of devotees. Our beloved Srila Prabhupada and all our previous acharyas, due to whose mercy we are able to read and hear Bhagavatam commentaries, all our present iskcon Gurujana and exalted devotees who bring this nectarian Srimad Bhagavatam to us. This is Shloka Srimad Bhagavatam 12.13.18. I cannot sing like Prabhu was singing, but I'll try. Srimad Bhagavatam Puranam Amalam Yad Vaishnavam Priyam Yasmin Param Hamsyam Ekam Amalam Jnanam Param Giyate Tatra Jnana Virag Bhakti Sahitam Nash Karmyam Aviskritam Tash Srinavan Supathan Vicharan Paro Bhaktya Vimuchyan Nara. So what this shloka says is that Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the Amal Puran, a spotless Puran, and it is very, very dear to all the Vaishnava devotees. And why it is dear to the Vaishnava devotees? Because it tells about the Paramhamsas, and Paramhamsas, the pure and transcendental knowledge about the Paramhamsas, Srimad Bhagavatam gives. And what else it gives? So then, after hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, so what happens? The Gyan, Vairagya, Bhakti, and Nashkarmya. So these things we all get. So we get Gyan, we get Vairagya from the material, the material things. We get Bhakti, and we get Nashkarmya. That no attachment to the material things. And what happened? That isko Shrinavan, Supatan, and Vicharan. So then three things when we hear. When we chant and we hear in the midst of the devotees, then what happened? Vimuchya and Nara. So then that gives us liberation from this material world. So that's the glories of Srimad Bhagavatam which we have been hearing. So now we would first of all would like to glorify our speaker, His Grace Gauranga Darshan Prabhu. With deep gratitude and heartfelt reverence, we express our humble appreciation to Shri Gauranga Darshan Prabhu for his divine discourse on Srimad Bhagavatam Saptah. In the tradition of great Bhagavata Acharyas, Prabhuji has illuminated the nectar of Bhagavatam in a way that has enlightened, inspired and transformed the hearts of all listeners. So a scholar of Bhagavatam, Shri Gauranga Darshan Prabhu, exemplifies the true essence of a Bhagavad speaker, not just by his deep spiritual knowledge, but by his unparalleled devotion, humility, and ability to connect with seekers of all backgrounds. His explanations are filled with wisdom, clarity, and practical application, making the profound truths of Bhagavatam accessible to all. Through his compassionate and scholarly presentation, Prabhuji has fulfilled this divine instruction by spreading the glories of Bhagavatam far and wide. So embodiment, Prabhu's embodiment of Bhagavatam's teachings, Srila Prabhupada often emphasized that the real qualification of a Bhagavad speaker is not just scriptural knowledge, but living the teachings of Bhagavatam. Prabhuji's life and character reflect the qualities of a true devotee, deep humility and dedication to Guru and Krishna, unwavering commitment to Vedic wisdom and its practical application, a natural ability to engage listeners of all ages. We saw the children class, youth class, adults class, with profound yet relatable storytelling, a heart filled with compassion, wisdom, and selfless service. He truly embodies the verse. Srimad Bhagavatam is the ripened fruit of Vedic wisdom, and he has described its sweetness to all. So, Nigam Kalpatrum, Galitam Phalam. So then, Srimad Bhagavatam is nectar, but when it is heard from the pure devotees like Gauranga Darshan Prabhu, it becomes more sweet. And he is spreading the gift of Bhagavatam to the world. The ability to deliver the Bhagavatam message with clarity and devotion is rare. And Prabhuji has been an invaluable instrument in sharing this treasure. Srila Prabhupada said, a Bhagavad speaker should inspire devotion in the hearts of the listeners. So the Saptah Yajna has been a spiritually uplifting experience for all of us, thanks to Prabhuji's deep scriptural insights, practical applications of Bhagavatam in daily life, heart-touching narrations of Krishna's pastimes, loving and humble presentations. So through this sacred discourse, he has purified our hearts and minds, strengthened our faith in Krishna, given us valuable life lessons from Bhagavatam, and inspired us to take shelter of Krishna and his devotees. So, Gauranga Darshan Prabhu, we are eternally grateful for your divine association and enlightening discourses. Your service to Srimad Bhagavatam and the Vaishnava community is truly inspiring. We humbly pray that may Shri Guru and Gauranga always bless you with strength, wisdom and inspiration. May your glorious efforts in spreading Bhagavatam continue to touch millions of lives. May you always be surrounded by pure devotees and divine service. May we have the opportunity to hear from you again and again. So our deepest pranams to your Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Radhanath Swami. Our humble obeisances and thanks to His Grace Gauranga Prabhu, who facilitated your visit to Damodar Desh, and prostrate obeisances to your parents who gave birth to this wonderful soul. On behalf of all assembled devotees, we express our deepest gratitude and offer our humble obeisances at your lotus feet. So as a token of appreciation, I would like to invite His Grace Parameshwar Gaur Prabhu and Mahesh Advani Prabhu to give a token of appreciation to Prabhu on behalf of Damodar Desh.
Hare Krishna.
So next we would like to glorify our visionary leaders, His Grace Mahamani Krishna Prabhu and Her Grace Paripurna Radha Mataji, who started this Damodar Desh Sangha since 1980s and showed all this vision of Krishna consciousness. Yesterday was Tirobhav Tithi of Mahamani Krishna Prabhu, and our humble obeisances and prayers to Mahamani Krishna Prabhu and Paripurna Radha Mataji. The vision is continued to be taken and expanded 100 times by our visionary leaders, His Grace Shri Vallabh Prabhu and Her Grace Siddhacharu Mataji, who are Mahabhagavatas and have shown how to lead a Krishna conscious life and how they have engaged disciples of 22 gurus here in Damodar Desh, serving together, and we all are able to progress in Bhakti and various services required to run the programs, and DDY programs are growing larger and larger each day. Thanks to their vision, they are all well supported by His Grace Nand Prabhu, Shubha Mataji and the children. Our pranams to Mahamani Krishna Prabhu and their family. So next, We extend our heartful appreciation to Mahesh Gaur Govind Prabhu and his complete family for their noble and selfless service in hosting this sacred Srimad Bhagavatam Saptah Yagya. In the Vedic tradition, arranging and facilitating the recitation of Srimad Bhagavatam is considered one of the highest acts of devotion and dharmadan. Not everyone is fortunate to arrange such a divine gathering where devotees immerse themselves in the nectar of Krishna Katha. According to Skanda Purana, those who facilitate the recitation of Srimad Bhagavatam earn immeasurable spiritual merit, benefiting not only themselves but also their ancestors, descendants, and all who participate. So he was a role for the divine instrument. Mahesh Prabhu, through your devotion, generosity, and unwavering faith, you have opened the doors of spiritual wisdom for all present, provided an opportunity for liberation to departed ancestors, created a divine atmosphere that will bless generations to come, served as an instrument of Lord Krishna's divine will. Like yesterday Prabhu was saying that Sabyasachi. As King Parikshit listened to Bhagavatam in his final days and attained liberation, so you too have ensured that everyone present this week has received the blessings of this eternal wisdom. So we humbly pray, may Lord Krishna shower his divine grace upon you and your family. May the Bhagavatam's wisdom illuminate your life with peace, prosperity, and devotion. May your home forever be filled with Krishna's presence and the association of saints. May this act of selfless devotion ensure your spiritual progress and eternal well-being. So let's all offer our heartful prayers that Bhagwan Shri Krishna bless Mahesh Gaur Govind Prabhu and their family abundantly, and may they continue to serve in such divine endeavors for years to come. So I would like to invite Mahesh Gaur Govind Prabhu to say a few words. And
Hare Krishna, I think I don't deserve all that what you said, just such a long glorification. But anyways, I take it and I convey my deepest gratitude and humble obeisances to Guru and Gauranga, and my humble obeisances to Gauranga Darshan Prabhu for taking us through this journey. But before I forget, I want to give credit to some of the people who were behind arranging all this and prasadam. So the first person who is the most important is my wife, okay, my Dharam Patni. Thank you. The second is, of course, my daughter Pallavi and my son Sanjit. They've been instrumental in arranging the all deity, decoration, everything. It is their department. Sanjit and Pallavi have been running from pillar to post, but their efforts sometimes go unnoticed. Also, I would like to thank my deep gratitude to my home, my team, my home staff, who have been working tirelessly. The sound system people, Leander and his team. The complete videography and photography, Kamal and his team.